Gentlemen, yes, that's my beautiful face at the front of the GQ article on the Men's Rights Conference. There's some fun theories going on around about me. Was I a plant or an actor? Let's get into what happened from my point of view. It seems suspicious to some that I bought my ticket the day before the conference. I'm just very good at procrastinating, that's all. I've been planning to attend since the conference was first announced. My procrastination cost me a chunk of money this time, though. Last-minute tickets were somewhat pricier. It didn't bug me too much, though, because it was for a good cause. The reason no one has ever heard of me is I've only ever made the occasional comment. I didn't start this little channel until recently. I've been following the movement closely, though, since about Toronto. Whether you like it or not, if you don't consider me one of you, I'm at least an ally. How did Charlotte find me right away? The t-shirt, duh. It wasn't my intention to sit quietly while I was there. I had minds to change and awareness to raise. I wore my Free Robert Maynard shirt on Friday, as I'd hoped. A lot of people asked me about it. After a brief explanation, I made it clear I was there to advocate for ending the sex offender registry and lowering the age of consent. Reactions were better than anticipated. When people are given a rational explanation by a non-threatening face, they're not as quick to dismiss it as disgusting. Not that there still weren't a few people who politely turned and walked away as soon as I stated my case. Blair Braverman was one of the many who approached me with questions, then listened intently. I can't put any words in her mouth because I just plain don't remember her exact words that well. She was sympathetic, though. She told me she was there in the interest of her friend who'd been the victim of an accusation. I told her she was doing a good deed. Day one was largely successful. On Saturday, I showed up wearing a plain shirt, feeling a little socially burnt out. Well, Blair found me immediately and told me she needed to talk to me as soon as I had a chance. Okay, I thought, there's nothing unusual about a woman wanting to talk to me in private. She told me there was a reporter there from GQ who was very interested in talking to me, and that I should put my shirt back on. That is actually unusual for a woman to say that to me. Anyway, I put my now dirty t-shirt back on while she said she would go find this guy for me. I was directed upstairs where I first met Allison. I bought some Honey Badger merchandise to support the cause. I asked her if I had her support in ending the sex offender registry. She agreed, saying it serves no useful purpose. I didn't bring up the age of consent because I knew damn well what her position was on it already. I met Charlotte, and he asked me if he could take me out to lunch. Clearly, Blair had shared some of my opinions with him, and his mouth watered at the opportunity to highlight me. Well, by clearly, I mean clearly only in hindsight. He asked if I was okay with bringing the honey badgers along. When I said no problem, he assured me I would still be the man of the hour. I insisted we find some place that could accommodate a vegan. After all, we are all savanna apes. Our African savanna roaming ancestors survived primarily off of grass seeds and roots ever since we diverged from the chimpanzees and left the trees. We should all be eating a starch-based, whole plant foods diet. Anyway, lunch didn't go so well. I wasn't physically assaulted, but as the ever so fun to listen to most recent Honey Badger radio episode pointed out, I certainly did inspire violent thoughts. On the ride back, I tried my best to make peace with the ladies. Allison drove back separately. I also told them to apologize to her for me for making her so uncomfortable. I spoke with Charlotte privately by the shore after that, as the article says. He stopped his recorder, put down his pen, and said, "Okay, I'm not writing anything down. Can you please tell me what happened to you?" I then told him about the young lady friend I met when I was 24. Somehow, despite his promises otherwise, that bit of my history found its way into the article. That's just weird, huh? Then he took a few pretty pictures of me. I looked a hell of a lot better in those. It was New Year's by the time the GQ photographers came out to me. It was about 10 degrees that day and extremely sunny and windy. From the pictures, you can see the windiness as my sign is pressed up against me. You can see the sunniness as I'm squinting, and you can see the cold as I'm pretty sure 2 of the fingers on my right hand fell off. I'm not sure the photos were altered. Maybe it was just the bad conditions that day that made me look twice my age. At least I'll know what I look like when I'll be 60. Not bad. Unfortunately, everyone else's pictures look even worse. This does suggest a conscious effort on GQ's part. To be fair, this was GQ's part, not Charlotte's. He probably would have wanted to use the pictures he took himself. It follows logically that it would also have been the editor's doing to put that asinine caption under my picture. Albert Calabrese believes the age of consent should be 12 years old. He's a creepy bastard, and so are all MRAs. Ouch. That hurt reading that. I didn't see it until after I finished reading the article, but it definitely inspired a sinking feeling. It's technically true, but not because I would encourage anyone to pursue 12-year-olds, only because I would forgive those who have erred. In any case, it's sure as hell not a statement I would open with. This made the movement look bad. I am sorry. I was hoping the article would focus more on the evils of having a sex offender registry, an issue that should be far less controversial. I myself stressed to Charlotte I thought it would be unfair to the movement to focus on my minority opinion. The honey badgers and I were in harmony in making it clear to him that I was a minority. I certainly wasn't about to put anything on my sign about the age of consent. To be fair, the article does point out that there's a difference of opinion between me and Typhon. This is unfortunately buried deep in the article, while that asinine caption is front and center. I feel like an idiot for answering when the fact checker pressed me to pick a number. This even made me look bad. Making a sex offender look worse than he already does is tough. At least I'm not Sage, though. Sage, no matter what you think of me, you have my sympathies. I was witness to much of the interaction between you and Blair. Maybe my memory is a little off, but it seemed a whole lot less rapey at the time. Now that was some serious shit on Charlotte's part. Shame on you, Charlotte. Shame, shame. As for discussing the actual issues of the registry and the age of consent, we'll get there. Stay tuned. Please feel free to tell me in the comments what a pedophile or child rapist or whatever you think I am. It's okay to get it out of your system. Don't worry. I know you love me and you don't really mean it.